Imagine this. You wake up one morning. The sun is coming through your window, the coffee is brewing, and everything looks exactly the same as yesterday. Same house. Same job. Same life. Nothing dramatic has happened. No crisis. No emergency. No obvious event that would explain why things feel different. But somehow, something has changed. Your money is disappearing faster than ever. You go to the grocery store, and the total is higher than you expected. You fill up your gas tank, and the number on the pump makes you wince. You book a flight to visit family, and it costs almost double what you paid last year. Your credit card balance won't go down no matter how much you pay. You're doing everything the same, but your money is evaporating. And you have no idea why. Now here's the scary part. The part that most people never understand until it's too late. This didn't start today. It didn't start last week or last month. It started months ago, maybe even a year ago, in a place you've probably never been, in a system you've probably never thought about. It started with a domino you never saw fall. And by the time you feel it, by the time you notice the pain in your wallet, by the time you're standing in the grocery store wondering why everything costs so much, it's already too late to react. The waves have already hit. The damage is already done. Today, I'm going to show you something most people will never understand. How one single event, far away and invisible, turns into 5 invisible waves that slowly, silently, methodically drain your money. I'm going to show you the chain of dominoes that most people never see. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to protect yourself before the waves reach your shore. Think of the world economy like a line of dominoes. A long, complex, interconnected line that stretches across countries, industries, and months of time. When the first domino falls, you don't see it. It happens far away, in a place you've never visited, in a system you've never studied. It doesn't make the news in a way that catches your attention. It's just a small shift, a minor change, a tiny adjustment. But that first domino hits the second. And the second hits the third. And the third hits the fourth. And the chain continues, invisible and silent, moving through supply chains and shipping routes and production facilities, traveling across oceans and borders, slowly making its way toward you. By the time the last domino falls, you feel it. You're standing in a grocery store, looking at a price tag that's higher than it was last month. You're filling up your gas tank, watching the numbers climb. You're checking your bank account, wondering why there's less than there should be. You only see the last domino fall. You only feel the final wave. But the first domino? That happened months ago. And almost no one noticed. Here's what most people do when prices rise. They say, everything is getting expensive. They throw their hands up. They feel powerless. They assume this is just how life works now. But that's not an explanation. That's a symptom. That's just describing the pain without understanding the cause. So let's rewind. Let's trace the chain backward. Not to understand politics or economics or complicated theories, but to understand how money moves. Because money doesn't disappear randomly. It follows a chain. A predictable, traceable chain of cause and effect. And once you see that chain, once you understand the waves, you can predict the future. Not perfectly, but clearly enough to protect yourself. While everyone else is confused, you'll know what's coming. While everyone else is reacting, you'll already be prepared. Let's start with the easiest wave to see. The one that's right in front of you every time you drive. Gas. This is the only wave that most people actually notice. You pull up to the pump. You swipe your card. You watch the numbers spin. And suddenly, what used to cost $50 now costs $70. What used to fill your tank for a week now empties your wallet faster. That's annoying. It's frustrating. It's something you feel immediately. And for most people, That's where the story ends. They complain about gas prices. They shake their heads. They move on with their day. But here's the mistake. The critical misunderstanding that keeps people from seeing the rest of the waves. Gas is not just for your car. Gas is for everything. Every truck that delivers food to your grocery store runs on gas. Every delivery van that brings packages to your door runs on gas. Every product in every store, from the shampoo in your bathroom to the furniture in your living room, traveled to you on a vehicle that burned fuel. Every service you use, everything you buy, every convenience you enjoy, was transported by something that needed energy. So when gas goes up, everything starts moving more expensively. Not immediately. Not dramatically at first. But slowly, quietly, like a leak that starts small and grows over time. The cost of fuel doesn't just affect your commute. It affects the entire economy. It ripples through every industry, every supply chain, every transaction. And by the time you feel it in your daily life, the wave has already spread far beyond the gas station. Now let's follow the domino. Let's see where that wave goes next. Imagine a truck. A big 18-wheeler truck loaded with fresh produce, dairy, meat, and packaged goods. It's driving from a distribution center to your local grocery store. It's carrying the food that you and your family will eat this week. That truck runs on fuel. Diesel. A lot of it. When fuel prices go up, the cost of that delivery goes up. Not by a small amount. By a significant amount. The trucking company has to pay more. The distributor has to pay more. The grocery store has to pay more. And guess what happens next? The store raises prices. They have to. Their costs went up. They can't absorb it forever. So the price of milk goes up. The price of bread goes up. The price of eggs, meat, vegetables, everything goes up. But here's the sneaky part. This doesn't happen instantly. It takes weeks. Sometimes months. The truck deliveries happen today, but the price change appears on the shelf weeks later. So you don't connect the dots. You don't remember that gas went up 2 months ago. You just walk into the grocery store one day, pick up your usual items, and think, why is everything more expensive? When did this happen? And your brain, looking for an easy answer, says, I guess that's just life. I guess this is how things are now. You accept it. You pay the higher price. You move on. But it's not random. It's not just life. It's wave number 2. The invisible wave that hit while you weren't looking. And this is where money really starts disappearing, because you don't question food. You don't debate whether to buy groceries. You just buy them. You need them. And every month, a little more of your paycheck goes to feeding your family without you even realizing it. Now let me show you the wave that almost nobody understands. The wave that catches even smart, financially aware people off guard. The wave that is the most dangerous because it's delayed. We need to go deeper. Beyond the truck. Beyond the grocery store. Back to the beginning of the food chain. Imagine a farmer. A real farmer who grows the crops that end up in your kitchen. That farmer needs fertilizer to grow food. Without fertilizer, the soil doesn't produce. The plants don't grow. The harvest is smaller. Now, here's the connection that most people never make. Fertilizer depends on energy. Natural gas, specifically. The production of fertilizer requires enormous amounts of energy. When energy prices go up, the cost of fertilizer goes up. When the cost of fertilizer goes up, farmers have a choice. They can pay more, which means their food costs more. Or they can use less fertilizer, which means they grow less food. And here's the key. The key to understanding why this wave is so dangerous. You don't feel this today. You don't see it this week. You don't notice it this month. This wave takes time. The farmer makes a decision today based on energy prices from months ago. That decision affects the harvest months from now. And the price impact shows up in your grocery store even later. When the delayed wave finally hits, when food becomes limited and prices jump again, you won't remember what started it. You won't connect it to energy prices from a year ago. You'll just see higher prices. Again. And you'll wonder why nothing is getting cheaper. But your wallet will feel it. Your budget will feel it. Your savings will feel it. And by the time you feel it, the cause is long gone and invisible. Now let's talk about something people care about more than almost anything else. Something that feels personal, not economic. Lifestyle. The things you look forward to. The trips you plan. The vacations you save for. The experiences you share with people you love. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Planes run on fuel too. Every flight, every trip, every vacation that involves air travel is powered by jet fuel. When fuel prices go up, airlines feel it immediately. Their biggest expense, their lifeblood, becomes more expensive overnight. And airlines don't wait. They don't absorb the cost and hope things get better. They increase prices in advance. They project future fuel costs and raise ticket prices today. So by the time you check prices for a trip you've been planning, it's already higher. Not because of demand. Not because of the season. Because of fuel prices from months ago that you never even thought about. And suddenly, a trip that felt within reach now feels out of reach. A vacation you were saving for now costs more than you have. A visit to family now requires a calculation, a compromise, maybe even a cancellation. Not because you changed. Not because your dreams got smaller. But because the system did. Because a wave you never saw hit your lifestyle before you even knew it was coming. This is the biggest wave. The one that does the most damage. The one that almost no one sees coming. Interest rates. You don't see interest rates daily. They're not on a price tag at the grocery store. They're not on the pump at the gas station. They live in the background, invisible and silent. But they control everything. Your mortgage, your car payment, your credit card balance, every loan you have, every payment you make, is shaped by interest rates. When rates are low, debt is cheap. When rates go up, debt becomes heavy. Every month, a little more of your payment goes to interest instead of principal. Every month, the hole gets a little deeper. And here's the trap that catches so many people. People wait for things to get cheaper. They wait for prices to come down. They wait for the economy to improve. They wait for the pain to stop. But instead, things stay expensive longer. Interest rates stay high longer. Debt becomes heavier with every passing month. Savings become more important, but harder to build. Mistakes become more costly, and the cost of being wrong goes up. The invisible killer doesn't announce itself. It doesn't send a warning. It just slowly, quietly, makes everything harder. Makes every financial decision more expensive. Makes the gap between where you are and where you want to be feel impossible to close. Here's the truth that nobody tells you. The truth that explains why so many people get crushed by these waves while others ride them out. Most people don't lose because they're poor. They don't lose because they're bad with money. They don't lose because they made terrible decisions. They lose because they react too late. They only act when they feel pain. When gas prices are already high, they start thinking about fuel efficiency. When groceries are already expensive, they start looking at their budget. When interest rates have already climbed, they start worrying about their mortgage. When the vacation is already out of reach, they start regretting not booking earlier. But by the time they feel the pain, by the time they notice the wave, the damage is already done. The dominoes have already fallen. The chain has already completed. All that's left is to react. And reaction, in a financial crisis, is almost always expensive. People panic. They stop investing when the market is down. They sell at the worst possible time. They make emotional decisions based on fear, not strategy. They lock in their losses and miss the recovery. And that costs them years. Sometimes decades. The difference between reacting and preparing is the difference between losing and surviving. So what do smart people do? The people who see the waves coming? The people who protect themselves before the dominoes fall? Smart people don't predict everything. They don't have a crystal ball. They don't know exactly when prices will rise or interest rates will change. But they do something that most people don't. They act earlier. They build savings before problems arrive. Not when the wave is already crashing, but before. When things are calm, when prices are stable, when the future looks predictable, they build a cushion. A buffer. A space between their income and their expenses. They avoid high-interest debt. Not because they're afraid of borrowing, but because they understand that debt becomes heavier when the waves hit. They don't finance luxuries. They don't carry credit card balances. They keep their fixed costs low so they have room to breathe. They keep investing even when it feels scary. They don't sell when the market drops. They don't panic when prices fall. They understand that the best time to invest is often when everyone else is afraid. They stay the course, keep contributing, and let time do the work. They reduce unnecessary expenses early. Not when they have to, but when they can. They cut subscriptions they don't use. They question recurring payments. They look at their spending honestly and ask, what can go? They think long-term, not emotional. They don't make decisions based on fear or excitement. They make decisions based on strategy and discipline. They know that the waves will come, and they prepare for them in advance. They don't wait for the storm. They build the shelter before the rain starts. So here's the real question. The question that will determine whether these waves control you or you control them. When prices go up. When things feel harder. When your money starts disappearing faster than it should. When you're standing in the grocery store or the gas station or booking a flight, wondering why everything costs so much. Will you be confused like everyone else? Will you be frustrated and powerless? Will you react too late and pay the price? Or will you understand what's happening? Will you see the chain of dominoes, the waves that started months ago, the invisible system that's moving money around you? Because now, you see the waves. Now you understand the chain. Now you know that gas isn't just gas, that food carries hidden costs, that delays create shocks, that lifestyle is vulnerable, that interest rates are the invisible killer. And once you see the waves, you can't unsee them. Once you understand the system, you can prepare for it. Once you know the dominoes are falling, you can get out of the way. The storm will come. It always does. But you don't have to be caught in it. If you want to understand how money really works, not the fake version you see on social media, but the real system that moves wealth around the world, subscribe to this channel. Because on this channel, we don't sell hustle. We don't give you quick fixes or get-rich-quick fantasies. We teach you leverage. We teach you how to see the waves before they hit. We teach you how to build a life that doesn't break when the system shifts. New videos every week. And next time, I'll show you the exact financial traps that quietly keep people broke for life. The traps that look like success but feel like cages. The traps that most people never see until they're already inside. Don't be one of them. See you in the next video.